with clouds at times. Tomorrow, highs around 54. Highs around 42. Wednesday, with a slight chance for mixed precipitation, changing to all rain. 41, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Thursday, looking further out, 41. Friday, 38. Saturday, and 37 on Sunday. To recap, high of 42 today, a low of 27 tonight. We should top off around 54 tomorrow. A dusting of snow Wednesday. Get up to the minute weather updates from the Weatherology Weather Center. I'm staff meteorologist Paul Trombley on this NWKS radio station. Currently, it's 24 degrees.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9047. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9047. That's 800-575-9047. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Your livelihood is important to you. You work hard to succeed in your farming operation, crop, livestock, home, vehicles, and special needs. We have you covered. Discounts are available for new business, remodeling, hail-resistive roofing, multi-policy, and many more. Optional coverage endorsements as well for machinery, ingestion, and equipment breakdown. Umbrella coverage for additional coverage on your home, farm, and auto. See the girls at the Insurance Agency at 1020 Main in Goodland or call 785-899-5011.
Make a difference in the lives of students by becoming a para-educator. The Northwest Kansas Educational Service Center helps build a community where every student feels valued, supported, and empowered to reach their full potential. The Northwest Kansas Educational Service Center is currently looking for para-educators in the Colby and Hoxie area. This job does include benefits and a competitive salary. For more information and to apply, text the word PARA to 785-460-0790.
Available at Nextech Wireless in 4 bold colors: black, pink, teal, and ultramarine. Which iPhone 16 color will you choose? Built for Apple Intelligence with the all-new A18 chip, a new feature camera control, and a big boost in battery life. Get the new iPhone 16 on us. Nextech Wireless. Home on the range.
At FNB Bank, we understand the backbone of our community is our local farmers and ranchers. Whether you're growing crops, raising livestock, or investing in new equipment, we're here to help you succeed. Our agricultural loans are tailored to meet the unique needs of your farm, with flexible terms from people who understand what it takes to make it in agriculture. When you partner with FNB Bank, you're working with neighbors who know the land and are invested in your success. FNB Bank, rooted in our community, growing with you. Member FDIC.
Ready to elevate your drive? Pearl Chevrolet GMC has unbeatable offers on the 2024 lineup. Right now, get 0% APR on the powerful GMC Sierra 1500 with a 5.3-liter engine, plus over $3,200 in trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Or step up to the 2024 Yukon with 5.9% APR for 72 months and make no payments for 90 days. These are the deals you've been waiting for to drive the best of GMC. Visit Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas today or online at hurlchev.com.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
You ready? Watch out, fight!
It's the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
If you want to win in football, it all starts up front.
Mass kicks ass.
The region's only local sports talk.
Listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about.
Broadcasting on Goodland's Rocket 102.5. Simulcasting on Goodland's 730 Gold KLOE.
Guys everywhere.
Discussing it all from the preps.
Showtime for the Lady Eagles.
To the pros.
McKinnon is in at running back. First down and goal to go. Play action fake. Right side throw. Touchdown! Kansas City!
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank, as well as the Insurance Agency, Farmer State Bank in Oakley, the Cowboy Corner Express, and Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell.
Let's go to work.
They sling it out to Devin Neal in the left flat. Makes a man miss. Still on his feet. Here he goes. 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Kansas.
Avery Johnson off to a good start. He's in the pistol. Wideouts left and right. Trips to the near side. Here's a running play. Avery, 15, 10, 5, goal line. Touchdown. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Pistol set. Dowdell the back behind Dillon. Twins to the near side. From the Badger at 12. Banks motions. They give it off to Dante. He's got a seam. 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Nix takes a shotgun snap, throws a fade route right side. He's got something there. Corley goes up, makes the catch. Touchdown, Denver. Right over the top of Jack Jones.
Placement is down. Schrader's kick is up. Schrader's kick is good! 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 Spencer Schrader on a 31-yard field goal, and the Chiefs walk it off.
Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. It is the Morning Blitz on Goodland's Rocket 102.5, NWKSradio.net, and the Hurdle Chevrolet GMC video stream. So glad you could join us here on what is a beautiful, crisp and cool Monday morning here, November the 25th. Just, 3-4 days away from that beloved Turkey Day that I know Max is looking so forward to. Good morning, Max. How was the weekend?
It was good, Ross. Full of some wins for all my teams, so it was a good weekend. How about you? It was a very exciting Saturday, I know.
Great weekend. More on that in weekend winners. So no doubt about that. A great weekend overall. Like I said, I got to go back home, see Nebraska play some football, got to see some friends and some family members. You don't get to see very much anymore, so that was kind of nice to get that done. So yeah, it was a great time. Really enjoyed myself. And now it's back to kind of have a semi-short week, a short week here with Thanksgiving and stuff going on. So it's a good spot to be in. And I love Thanksgiving. It's a good time. I enjoy a little bit of a semi-longer weekend. And to an extent, I enjoy food. So I'm happy about Thanksgiving.
Who doesn't?
I know. So like I said, you're just your typical person, but anyway, yeah, we got a full show ahead today for you here on the Morning Blitz. We will be diving into weekend winners and losers here in just a matter of moments. Nick Athen, our typical Monday guest, is scheduled to join us from ChiefBlitz.com as we'll get thoughts on the Chiefs in the NFL here in Week 12. And then we'll get to whatever we didn't miss or get to in the weekend winners and losers, and with Nick and the leftovers. We'll get to that, and also some Royals news as well in the walk-off from this past weekend. So plenty of things to get to here on our hour show here on the Morning Blitz. And of course, we would love to hear from you throughout the program. If you want to chime in on our text line, the number is 785-899-2222. That's 785-899-2222. That's the FNB Bank text line. If you want to be part of the Morning Blitz, of course, check us out that way. You can also comment on Facebook, Twitter, and of course, YouTube. You can comment there as well and get your thoughts in here on the program here on this Monday morning. It is going to be a very cool start to the morning, 22 degrees outside to get things going for you out there in the listening region, and high of 46 today. And maybe a little bit warmer tomorrow, temps into the 50s, but then it looks like kind of temps in the 40s most of the week. And boy, you get late into this weekend and early next week, you got highs maybe in the 30s. So it's going to get very cold. Max, have those pants come in yet from wherever you bought them from? Amazon?
Pants have come in. The code is coming. But it was nice. I got to play 9 holes on Friday, which was great.
It was a beautiful Friday.
Beautiful. So I was happy. I'm glad I got that in, and now it's absolutely freezing.
What is the course condition like right now these days? Pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty much the same as it was, this summer.
Good. Yeah, that's great.
So nothing much has changed, but yeah, it was nice out on Friday. So I got me some 9 holes in, so I'm good.
Good deal. Glad you got that fixed for you. But we got lots to get to here on a Monday morning on the Morning Blitz. Let's dive into it with the front page. Sorry, weekend winners and losers. What am I thinking? Here we go. Weekend winners and losers, Ross. Hit it.
There are two kinds of people in this world.
There's winners and there's losers.
Which ones were which this past weekend?
I want winners.
Loser! You're a loser!
It's the weekend's winners and losers on the Morning Blitz.
You want to be a winner, be a winner.
Gosh, I've got so many winners. I mean, this might be a record for the amount of winners that I have this weekend. It was just a great weekend overall. Where are you going first here, Max?
I'm going to Lawrence, or I guess Kansas City, but KU football upsetting Colorado, the first under 500 team in college football history to win 3 straight games against ranked opponents. Look, I mean, this was everything you could have asked for at the beginning of the season looking at this stretch, but now, you're kind of in a different spot. Regardless, what a job Lance Leipold has done. What a job that this team has done of not, throwing the season away. They've really found something to salvage out of all of this. Credit to the seniors who showed out. Great crowd as well at Arrowhead, which I was super excited for. Going into the season, this was the game I was pumped up about the most, was Deion Sanders and Shador and Travis at Arrowhead Stadium. And, the crowd just didn't disappoint. KU got up early, just had more energy than the Buffs. And, Devin Neal, man, what a talent, what a story, what he has meant to this program is just, you can't even describe it with words, which how much he's done for this program. All of this rebuild, you give so much credit to Lance Leipold and even Jason B and Jalen Daniels, but Devin Neal, without Devin Neal, none of this happens. And it's been just incredible to watch for the last 4 years of KU football, having him, and I'm excited to see how his NFL career pans out. So KU football, specifically Devin Neal and the seniors, have to be a winner this weekend and a winner for the last 3 weekends.
Yeah, that really is the stat of the weekend right there. Kansas becoming the first ever football team with a below 500 record to rattle off 3 straight wins over ranked opponents. I don't know what that says. I'm sure from the Kansas fan, it probably is like, gosh, what could have been this year if we just could have gotten out of the gates and played well. And I'm sure that's a lot of heartache, and I understand that. But man, Lance Leipold, I tell you, if he wins at Baylor here on Saturday, Lance Leipold for Coach of the Year in the Big 12. How many coaches can say, well, you know what? We really got down. They were 1-5. They had all this expectation, and they were 1-5. And was it 1-5 or 1-6? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, they were at 1 win. I think they were 1-5 after the Arizona State loss, because then they lost to Kansas State. So I think they got a win and then lost to Kansas State.
Beat Houston, lost to Kansas State.
Yeah. So they were 1-5. And if he's able to get a win here coming up on Saturday against Baylor, they have found a way to go from a 1-win team to a bowl team in the back half of a season. And think about it. Things could have absolutely crumbled. Absolutely could have crumbled. I mean, things could have completely gone sideways with this program when you've got that group of seniors, all those type of people, and that's what happened. It's amazing that they were able to pull out of what was truly a nosedive and get this plane going back up in the right direction, and now pretty much close to getting it back up to flying it where it needs to be. That's amazing to me. Now, will he win Coach of the Year? Absolutely not. But I think it's super hard. It's super, super hard when you think about it to take a team that had high expectations, pretty much blow all those expectations in the first half of the season, regain the focus of the team, and put them back in a spot to make the postseason.
I think also you look at a lot of the guys that are, that aren't seniors, the younger guys that, if this season, if you end up only winning 2-3 games, they're probably transferring out. There's a lot of guys that were thinking about that. And I'm sure now that you've won these games at the back end of the season, you've built back that energy that this is a winning program. And a lot of these younger guys are most likely going to stay. And what that means to, Jalen Daniels' decision, if he wants to come back next year. And it was, you don't want to say it had to happen to continue this trajectory, because I guess it technically didn't, but Lance Leipold felt it did, and he's done it, because that's what he's done for the last 3 years. He's been a KU Jayhawks head football coach. He's done what has to be done in order to get this football program on an amazing trajectory. So he's done it again this year.
And that's why, once again, I think he's one of the best coaches in college football, and that's why he's had so much success at previous stops. He does what has to get done in order to get the wins. And yes, you're right. Devin Neal, fantastic career. I couldn't agree more. I'm excited to see what he does as a pro. He's an all-time legend in Kansas history, and even being from Lawrence makes it even cooler to see that. But that type of game there is something that I would have liked to have seen a little bit more. Maybe not 37 carries, but 25 to 30 carries a game. Get that guy, get a good lather going for him, and let him run all over it. That's a great win for Kansas, and a tough one for Colorado. Shadur throws for 3 touchdowns, but they really had no running game. Once again, Kansas did a great job stifling that running game, and it was a kind of a blown opportunity for them. Unfortunately, they had a chance. If they win that game, they have a chance to win again on Saturday, and then maybe make the college football playoff is a possibility. And now that's looking like a little bit more of a distance chance at this point in time.
Did you see the I can't remember who it was on our defense that just took out Shador's legs, and they didn't call?
Yeah,
a flag?
I did see that.
That
Yeah,
was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Well, then he also pushed official in the back, did Shadur, in this game at some point in time.
Shadur got beat up. He gets
beat up
by
all the
KC.
time.
I know.
I'm telling you, Shadur is tough. I will never doubt his toughness. He is very tough. He gets beat up all the time. He's playing behind paper offensive line most of the time, and he takes a pounding.
I just think, I don't know, that he kind of runs into no man's land. He runs into some sacks where he's dropping back 30 yards. I feel like it would benefit him to sit a year in the NFL, but I know that would never happen because his name's too big. He's just going to get thrown into the fire, and I don't know if that's going to work, but that's a different conversation for another time.
I'll tell you one thing about it, he will know what it's like to play behind
that's true
average offensive line, and
that's true.
And the thing is, he has success but playing behind an average offensive line. So it will be intriguing to see what they're going to do, what he's going to do going forward. But anyway, we're on weekend winners here on a Monday morning. Moving on, I've got so many winners. I'm going to start with some of my smaller ones first. Salute to Hoxie and Weskin football teams. Both are winners of the weekend. Both win convincingly in the sub-state to advance to this upcoming Saturday state title game. Hoxie defeated previously unbeaten Coldwater squad 42-28 on Friday night. A long bus trip down there. Take care of business. Win convincingly. Duncan Bell, 3 total touchdowns. Braden Sheets has 2 more on the ground for the Indians as they go into the state title game for the first time in 7 years, where they did win it the last time they went to state. So a chance to possibly win 2 state championships for a good friend of the program, Lance Barr. And they will take on Central Plains coming up on Saturday. And that, to me, is one of the funnier things of that story, is that Central Plains is the team they'll play in the state title game. Now, once again, the state is usually kind of divided up into east and to west. Well, Central Plains is in Claflin, just a little bit away from Great Bend and Hoisington, which I would consider in the western half of the state. So you kind of have 2 western half teams playing in the state title game for 8-man D1 here on Saturday morning. But, Hoxie looks like a team of destiny a little bit. They've completely taken care of business. They really haven't been tested since the season opener against Osborne. They've just been really, really good, and they'll have a chance to prove that on Saturday morning coming up here when they take on Central Plains for the state championship, trying to win their second one here in the Lance Barr era. So they're a winner of the weekend. And Weskin football also going to play for a state title. They put up a season-high 82 points in their win against Golden Plains on Friday night. 82-45 was the final score. If you love offense, that was the game to go to. Lots of points put up. Coyotes will play unbeaten Cunningham in the 6-man title game this Saturday. And here's the thing. I think you are getting the 2 best teams in 6-man football playing for the state title game. I don't think there's any doubt. Cunningham was, I think, going into the season, was kind of pegged as the favorite in 6-man overall. And Weskin has become the best team in the West this year. I think people thought they could have a good season this year. They have backed it up with their play on the field, and they've been very, very good. So Weskin will also play for a state title. So Weskin and Hoxie are 2 area football squads winning sub-state and on to the state championship game. Both those will be played Saturday. Hoxie playing place at 11 o'clock Central Time, and then Weskin plays at, I think it's 3 o'clock Central Time. That'll all be played down there in Greensburg, Kiowa County is where that's going to be played at. So Greensburg is where that game will be played. I think they have a turf 8-man football field. You don't see that very often, but a turf 8-man football field. So there you go. Winner of the weekend, area high school football teams. More winners of the weekend here on Weekend Winners and Losers.
My second and final weekend winner from this past weekend is Saquon Barkley last night. I think Saquon Barkley has jumped himself into an MVP race with his performance last night. He is single-handedly, I think, saving Nick Sirianni's job in Philadelphia, and he just continues to prove that he's the best running back in the league. I mean, his performance last night was ridiculous against the Rams. I believe it was 255 from scrimmage for Saquon. So, I mean, this guy is unbelievable. And, you know, I don't know who else I'd pick for MVP right now, if I'm being honest. I know Lamar, Josh Allen can be in that conversations, but I think I would go with Saquon at this current moment. So he's another weekend winner.
Yeah, I would say he's definitely up in there. He's been fantastic. But he's got credit goes to his offensive line. He's got probably one of the best offensive lines. They know how to run the football there in Philadelphia. They're a physical football team. They wear on you, and then when it gets late in games, they just blow you open. So a lot of credit to them, and that's a dangerous football team. I mean, right now, if you were to kind of do power rankings, I'm guessing that's probably a top 3 team right now in the NFL.
I'd put them at 2, right behind the Lions.
Yeah, I would probably say that you're probably exactly right. They look really, really good at this point in time. So, yeah, Saquon Barkley, certainly a winner of the weekend. Him and Derrick Henry have kind of revived the running back a little bit this year. The running back position had kind of gone, we're more about a passing league. And now you're seeing those two guys run for all these yards. Reminding that the running back is still a very important position in football. My other second of 3 winners this weekend, I'm going to go with Colby Community College volleyball. Salute to Carrie Jones and her program. They take 3rd at the NJCAA National Tournament here this past weekend. So when we left you on Friday, they were scheduled to play Florida Southwestern State. They were swept by the number 1 team in the country. I believe Florida Southwestern State went on to win the whole thing. But after that, you had a really good showing by Colby going against Barton in the 3rd place game. So they played Barton again, and they were able to beat the Cougars. So they lost to Barton in their first game of the season. They beat Barton the second time. They lost to them a third time, and the fourth time they got the last laugh as they beat them 3-1 there in Clarksville, Tennessee here this past weekend to take 3rd. And that is the highest finish ever in program history for Colby Community College volleyball, a 3rd place finish. An absolutely phenomenal season that they had this last year. No doubt. I was going to look up what the final record was real quickly here before we move on for them. I didn't have that pulled up, but I'll pull this up here real quickly. 29-5, the overall record. And 14-2, they did not win Region 6. They did not win the Jayhawk Conference Championship. They probably should have. That loss to Garden City down in Garden kind of towards the end of the season, back in the end of October, really kind of put the damper on that Jayhawk League title, but regrouped and got all the way to the semifinals, the Final Four, ended up finishing in 3rd place. Congratulations to Colby Community College volleyball on a fantastic season, one that we've never seen from CCC volleyball. Congratulations to them. And the final win of the weekend. Hit it. What a weekend it was for the dear old NU. It started on Friday night, by the way, folks, where Nebraska basketball beat Creighton wire to wire, a team that Nebraska basketball rarely ever beats, has now beaten Creighton twice in their own building in a row. Last time they win by 11. It ended up being more like a 15-point game all the way throughout for Nebraska men's basketball. They held Ryan Kolkbrenner, one of the best bigs in the country. He was averaging 25.8 points per game to 4 measly points on 0 of 1 shooting. They did an unbelievable job. And they don't have a guy really that can match up with him. He's that good. But they found a way to fluster him to where he didn't have a single field goal. It was just 4 made free throws for Ryan Kolkbrenner. That got the weekend started off great. Nebraska football would then go and take care of business against Wisconsin, 44-25. Emmett Johnson was great. Dylan Raiola was solid. And they get the win over Wisconsin. That was the first time they had beaten the Badgers in 11 tries, and it ended a 4-game losing streak. And more importantly, got them over the hump, that 6th win to put them into bowl eligibility. For the first time since 2016, they are finally going bowling. Thank God. And on top of that, following that night, the volleyball team took down Wisconsin in a matchup of top 6 squads, swept them in straight sets. I'm telling you, folks, Nebraska volleyball is a wagon. Well, I got to watch them play as well this weekend in person. That is an absolute wagon. Wisconsin is a great volleyball program. Not a good one, a great one. And Nebraska made them look like a bunch of high schoolers. It was unbelievable. They dominated them. And so, once again, it was a weekend to remember for those who don the scarlet and cream. Nebraska athletics, winners of the weekend, no doubt about it. Wow, what a weekend it was. A lot of fun. I was so glad I was going to witness it all.
I was very happy happy for you when I was watching Nebraska kick some Wisconsin butt this weekend. That was great to see. It really was, because I was getting worried that you guys weren't going to make the bowl game. But, they made it. Here we are.
Now the key is for football now is to not go to Iowa and get completely waxed.
Yeah.
Don't go there and get completely whacked just because you got your bowl eligibility. Try to go there and try to make it competitive and win the game. That'd be the goal. Don't go there and completely beat. All right, we got a few more quick minutes to get into weekend losers. What do you got for losers this weekend, Max?
My first loser is someone I was a fan of, really. And then this week kind of changed it a little bit. Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart against Florida. There was a great tweet of a picture of him on the sideline crying. He threw an interception. He went to the sideline, started crying because the game was over and his season was over. It got reversed, and then he went back on the field, threw another interception, and then went right back to the bench and started crying again. So that's kind of, unfortunately for him, loser behavior. So he made it onto the losers list this weekend. Jackson Dart and Ole Miss losing to Florida, and there goes their playoff chances.
2 storylines. I'm going to piggyback off of this. My weekend loser one of the weekend losers was SEC football. It was a bad weekend for SEC football as a whole, because not only did Ole Miss lose to Florida, but Alabama lost at Oklahoma. OU completely destroyed that Alabama offense, multiple pick sixes. That was a bad weekend for SEC football and for Greg Sankey. That was a bad one, because those are now teams that don't have just 2 losses. They have 3 losses now. And that's a problem, because that's going to impact their look on the playoff picture. SEC might only get 3 teams in to the college football playoffs. The Big Ten might get 4, and that's only going to make the SEC be completely sour. I can guarantee you. They're mad about that. So it was a bad weekend for SEC football and for Greg Sankey. With Alabama and Ole Miss losing, that removed 2 more possible teams from the college football playoff picture.
And A&M.
Yeah, A&M losing as well certainly hurt. They were a little bit – that one didn't probably sting as much, but it definitely did burn. That still goes back to the point where they asked that question this last week to Coach Elko. They're like, Coach, what's your thoughts on or what's your thoughts on the Texas game? They were talking about something about the focus of the Auburn game. And like, well, we're focused on Texas. I mean, we're Auburn. We're focused on it's like they were looking ahead to this first ever meeting between Texas and Texas A&M in 15 years it's been. It's been a long time. So, yeah. But I don't know. It was a bad weekend for SEC football, unless your name was Billy Napier, Florida head football coach. Ever since Billy Napier got the thumbs up from his athletic director a couple weeks ago, he's gone 2-0, beating 2 ranked teams. Shout out to Billy Napier. There was some thoughts that Billy Napier needed to be fired and let go after just a couple seasons. But guess what? A little bit of patience and a little bit of support paid off. 2 wins against ranked teams. Billy Napier's also winner of the weekend, but SEC football as a whole is a weekend loser. I've got a couple other quick ones here real quickly on weekend losers. The Washington Commanders, and a particular kicker, Austin Seibert. Football was drunk this week in the NFL. It was crazy drunk, but I'll tell you what, it was nuts in the NFL. Seeing what happened in the last few minutes of that Cowboys-Commanders game, and to be able to tie the ball game up, have a chance to tie with an extra point when you need pretty much a Hail Mary, and it worked. Like a 90-some-odd yard Hail Mary, 80-some yard. It still worked. You got the touchdown that you needed with like 40-some seconds left, and Seibert misses the extra point. Oh, that is bad. That is so bad. So bad. Feel bad for Austin Seibert. He's a loser of the weekend. And how about Aaron Rodgers, a loser of the weekend, Max? I read there's a possibility he could be cut by the Jets this season, that they would want to let him go. They've already seen enough and been done with his antics already.
I've been saying that he's not going to make it past this season. I think he's going to retire. I've been saying this for 2 years, that he was going to retire after he realized the Jets aren't a good functioning franchise. But I don't know. I won't go too far into it because we don't have enough time. But he's ruined. He ruined another franchise, and now he's gone. It's what he does. He's a problem for any team. Anyway, I have 2 more quick losers. Indiana football is the other team we didn't mention. I really thought they had a chance. They kind of got blown out really from the get-go. They just made way too many mistakes in that game against Ohio State. So now they're back on to like kind of fraud watch because they haven't played anyone that good. And when they do, they got exposed. Houston Texans, my other team, because CJ Stroud's having a big slump this year. And the Texans are not what we thought they would be going into this season. So those are my final 2 weekend losers.
There you go. Weekend winners and losers here on a Monday, November the 25th. We'll take a break and we'll come back. Nick Athens waiting patiently for us. He'll join us next from ChiefsBlitz.com, and we'll talk with Nick about the Chiefs' close win over the Carolina Panthers and much more from the NFL this past Sunday. You're listening to the Morning Blitz.
I told you, Ross.
Last time you've changed your furnace filter. A clogged or dirty filter restricts airflow and makes your furnace work harder, costing you money. Good filters cost less than $20 and last 60 to 90 days. Make sure to check your furnace filter and change it regularly. Your wallet will thank you, and your home will be cleaner and more efficient. A money-saving tip from Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative, making energy work for you.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning, this is Kate Thompson with the Anderson Trade Group. Today is Monday, November 25th. And on the overnight last night, December corn lowered 2 3/4 at 422 3/4. March down 3 at 432 1/4. May down 2 3/4 at 439 3/4. July down 2 3/4 at 443 1/4. January soybeans up 5 on the overnights at 988 1/2. March up 4 3/4 at 997. May up 4 1/2 at 1010 1/4. July soybeans up 5 on the overnights at 1023 1/4. December Chicago wheat closed lower 9 1/2 on the overnight at 534 3/4. March down 9 at 555 3/4. May down 9 at 566. July down 9 at 573 3/4. Kansas City wheat, the December contract lower 9 on the overnights at 544 3/4. March down 9 1/2 at 556. May down 10 at 562 1/2. July down 9 1/2 at 570 1/2. On the stock market this morning, the Dow up 394 at 44,789. The S&P up 43 at 6,030. The Nasdaq up 156 at 21,006. Crude oil lower 51 cents a barrel at 70.73, and gold lower $32 an ounce at 2,679. If you have any questions about marketing grain or would like to talk about risk management options, give our Colorado office a call. John Hankey or John Stiles at 970-744-4484, or in our Kansas City office, myself, Tom Pluto, Jared Law, or Tyler Dosh at 913-748-3000.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor and or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
We've been using Pivot Bio for 4 years. The first thing to drive us to Pivot Bio was the unique thought that there's something else out there outside of synthetic nitrogen that can replace it. And the data shows that we are able to replace that 40 pounds, sustain the same yield goals with 40 pounds less synthetic nitrogen. Anytime we can more efficiently use our nitrogen, that is more efficiently using our dollars.
Visit TalkNitrogen.com for your free nitrogen efficiency review. That's TalkNitrogen.com.
At CHS, we know what it takes to feed and fuel the world, to integrate a global ag and energy supply chain, to advocate for farmers in their fields and around the world, to build communities, invest in rural America, and empower rural economies. It takes courage, conviction, commitment. It takes the nation's leading farmer-owned cooperative. It takes a co-op. It takes CHS.
Your Cheyenne County Hospital in St. Francis is improving health with access to quality care. Whether you're looking for primary care, wound care, physical therapy, cardiologist, or anything in between, Cheyenne County Hospital can help. For info, visit their Facebook page or call 785-332-2104 or visit them at CheyenneCountyHospital.com. The Cheyenne County Hospital, located on 210 West Street in St. Francis.
This holiday season, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware has the perfect gifts to make Christmas merry and bright. Need something special for that grill master? Check out their top line of grills and griddles from Blackstone, Traeger, and Weber. Guaranteed to make their holiday sizzle. Stocking stuffers, they've got you covered with tools, gadgets, and must-haves for every DIYer in your life. And tackle winter head-on with their powerful Eco snowblowers, perfect for clearing the way this season. Plus, spruce up your home for the holidays with a fresh coat of Benjamin Moore paint, or get ready for the new year with a stunning remodel. Enjoy the holidays this year with Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, with locations in Goodland and Colby.
You're listening to the Morning Blitz.
How about sports? You follow sports?
With Ross Volkmer.
Once again, welcome back to the Morning Blitz here on a Monday morning. Chilly start to the day of 22 degrees on our way to a high of 46 on this Monday prior to Thanksgiving. Speaking of Thanksgiving, we'll get to some leftovers coming up here in the back end of the show. We'll get to some college basketball, including K-State, who lost last night late to Liberty, and some update from the Jayhawk Conference. But it's time to welcome into the program our good friend, been waiting patiently on the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream. That is Nick Athen, who joins us now. Good morning, Nick. How are we doing today?
Good morning, gents. It's Monday. It's a short week. It's Raiders week. The Chiefs are 10-1. All is good in the world of the NFL.
I don't know if I believe you or not, Nick. I feel some sarcasm in there a little bit.
No, not me. No. I never make excuse for a win. The late, great Al Davis said, just win, baby. And the Chiefs are finding great ways to keep their fans engaged in all four quarters. So there you go.
Nick, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Start it off.
All right, Max, hit me.
Will the Chiefs ever blow anyone out, or will this always be the case, and why?
Well, I'm going to answer probably not. I think they're going to play close games the rest of the season because, as you saw yesterday, I mean, give props to the Carolina Panthers. They spent 2 weeks game planning the Chiefs. They were out after the first touchdown drive. They made some adjustments defensively. It was a little bit more difficult for the Chiefs. The Chiefs also shot themselves in the foot, in the red zone, having to settle for field goals. But I think they get everybody's A game. If you just look back from day one, the Ravens gave them their A game. The Ravens threw everything at them and they lost. The Bengals threw everything at them and they lost. The Falcons threw everything at them and lost. The Broncos 2 weeks ago threw everything that they had against the Chiefs and still lost. The Panthers, same thing. So I think because the Chiefs are just expected to win every Sunday, they're favored every Sunday. Everybody's waiting for that 2019, 2020 Tyreek Hill offense. It ain't coming. It's not coming this year. Even when Hollywood Brown comes back next month, even with, Xavier Worthy, I think doing very well as a rookie. All these things combined, but the mentality is the Chiefs have figured out one thing in winning back-to-back Super Bowls. The regular season is just a grind. Just win, get the number one seed or the best seed you can, and go in the postseason, have your act together, and go win another Super Bowl. And we're spoiled to the highest possible level as the Chiefs fans for your generation. For me, it's 50 years. And I tell people all the time, you never know when this is going to end. But they're just built differently. And they just don't care what people think. And they get everybody's best. And they just find a way to make a play. I mean, yesterday's a perfect example of why this team is so good. The Patrick Mahomes run. You look at what Justin Watson did. He didn't block one guy. He blocked two. And that's the kind of mentality. You don't see a lot of teams doing those kinds of small things. And a guy that doesn't really do much in the offense, but you get him out there in that kind of situation. And he used his speed to block one guy, got in front of him, and he pushes the other guy out of the way so Patrick hit another 20 yards. So to answer your question, no blowouts. No, they're all going to be close games. In every close game, every opponent's going to know one thing: how do we beat the Chiefs? And nobody can do it.
I completely agree, and I think that how kind of I've been seeing it is like anyone can compete with the Chiefs, but only a few teams can beat the Chiefs when it matters the most. So going into these, it's the home stretch of this season. Which teams do you see giving the Chiefs the most trouble?
Here are the three teams I'm most scared about, and I think the Chiefs are going to face two of them in the playoffs. The Buffalo Bills, when the Buffalo Bills are on, are probably the toughest matchup for Kansas City. The other two are going to be a surprise: the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos. Chiefs, we'll see. The Chiefs play them a week from Sunday. The Chargers, they obviously got the Raiders on Black Friday, but they're going to play them a week from Sunday on Sunday Night Football. That should be a lot of fun. We're going to learn a lot about the Chargers then. The Chargers have a huge game tonight. Massive game, hosting the Ravens in the Harbaugh Bowl. And then the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix, I'm wrong. I admit it. He's really turned into a really good quarterback. And it's hard for me to swallow that pill. But if the Chiefs want to get the number one seed, it's likely that they're going to have to beat the Chargers and maybe beat the Broncos the last game of the year, which means they'll go in the playoffs having to beat a team, or maybe facing both of them, having to beat them 3 times in a year. And that is extremely difficult. The Chiefs have done it once, I think once in their playoff run against the Raiders back in the Barry Word, Christian Okoye days. But that's a tall task. That scares me more than anything else, that to face a team 3 times and beat them, that's going to be tougher for me, in my view, than going to Buffalo and Baltimore, in my opinion.
Nick Athen is our guest from ChiefsBlitz.com. Nick, how much concern is it that the defense, which was carrying this team through the first part of the season, has really seemed to have fallen off the last few weeks?
They're trying to put square pegs in round holes in the secondary. Chamari Connor is not that, he's not a cover corner. He's better in open space. He's better playing off the line of scrimmage. They're kind of forcing him, to be something they're not. Of all the injuries, I never thought the Jalen Watson injury would be the one that potentially puts doom on this football team. I think he was so underrated, and he was playing at a Pro Bowl level. Fortunately, he's still under contract for 1 more year. But, Najee Johnson is struggling. Brian Cook, the safety, he's just bad at football right now. I don't know what to say. We know Justin Reed doesn't have a lot of speed, but Brian Cook is fast. And his slow reaction to the ball, listen, the Chiefs defense blitzed Bryce Young, 16 times? And he completed 13 passes out of those 16 attempts. And they just seem slow in their blitz packages too. So, and when the secondary is not covering, you can blitz anybody you want to. It's not going to matter, because they just Bryce Young just knew where to go with the football. And so that's a huge concern. Watson, I've been told he may come back for the playoffs, but it's highly doubtful. So I think they're stuck. One guy, I'm going to make sure I get his name right, that was cut by the Minnesota Vikings. Let's see. The kid from Missouri, Caleb Evans, who's a 4th round pick from 2022. He could clear waivers today. That was somebody that the Chiefs was on their draft board a couple of years ago. And the Vikings, in a really weird move, drafted 3 or 4 quarterbacks in their first picks, and they let him go on Saturday. So I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar, but it's just another body to throw out there, because the Chiefs secondary is bad. The other part is the pass rush is done. They're just not getting to the quarterback. They're not sacking the quarterback. George Karlaftis appears to have taken a step back. Chris Jones is just tired. As you watch that game, triple team after triple team after triple team. And then Charles Omenihu will be back this week, which is good news. It's going to take him probably 2 or 3 games, but if he can get into the mode he was, before the injury to the Ravens in the AFC title game, that's massive. That's a massive pickup. And of course, the Chiefs are getting some reinforcement on the offensive line too, so that's going to help.
Nick Athen, once again, our guest from ChiefsPlace.com. If you have questions, hit it up on the FNB Bank text line, 785.
Fire away. Ask me whatever you want.
That's
I'll
right.
answer it.
Yeah, Nick will give you an answer. I want to go to the opponent for the Chiefs.
Yes.
In Bryce Young. You know, we talked about this a few weeks ago about quarterbacks getting benched. Will they come back? What has Carolina done differently to allow Bryce Young to find some sort of success in comparison to where he was previous weeks?
Well, I think some of it is just simplifying the offense and using his strength. You know, his strength is mobility. His strength is moving in and out of the pocket. You know, it's escaping the pocket. I mean, the Chiefs had him dead to right. Probably could have gotten 3 more sacks, but he just used his elusiveness, and he's a much better thrower of the football on the run than he was earlier in his career. And I think they have guys that said, you know, listen, we were probably part of the problem as to why Bryce Young wasn't successful. The offensive line, you know, they got their running back kid from Texas back yesterday after he, you know, tore his ACL a year ago. So I think you're starting to see that maybe they're not as bad as people think. They had 1-2 in a row. They quite easily could have beat the Chiefs yesterday, but they didn't. But I think he finally feels comfortable, and I think he feels like, okay, that's over with. I'm not going to be benched anymore. This is my football team. I got to take hold of it. Now, does that mean he's the future in Carolina? Does that mean that maybe this is a showcase to trade him? You know, it's quite possible. But I just think that they just kind of woke up and said, this is our guy. We need to start acting like it. And everybody kind of rallied behind him.
Nick, I'm intrigued when you said that the 3 teams that scare you the most about the Chiefs, and maybe you're just thinking the AFC. I don't know. If it was me, the Lions and the Eagles look to be just about as dangerous as any team. Don't give me that.
No.
Come on.
Come on. The Lions should have lost yesterday against the Colts if they had a better quarterback. Come on. No. I'm not sold on the Lions. Listen, the Lions, this is the thing about the Lions, and this is, if you watch any of the Colts game, their offense is precision-based. Okay. If you take the precision out of it, I'm probably pronouncing that right. If you jam the receivers, if you get linebackers in front of their routes, they run a very tight offense. And it's very specific. Everybody has a role, and it's a system. This guy is, he is Alex Smith times 10 right now. They don't scare me. Without Hutchinson, I don't see how they're going to beat a team. I don't see how they're going to win the Super Bowl. He's that important to that defense. You know, and the Eagles, I mean, come on. It's Nick Sirianni. He's going to blow it in the playoffs. You watch. I guarantee it. Put money on it. Bet the house. Those teams don't scare me because the Chiefs are in their heads. You know, the Chiefs got the Eagles. If it's another Super Bowl, it's going to be another Chiefs victory. I'm not worried about the NFC because I think the worst matchups for the Chiefs are on the AFC side of the ball.
Well, you think about a team like the Packers, because I think the Chiefs do match up well with the Eagles, because the Chiefs can. I know Saquon Barkley is playing at MVP level, but the Chiefs are the Chiefs' defense against the run is an MVP caliber thing. You know, so what do you think about a team like the Packers? Because they've been improving and growing up on my power rankings myself. So they're a team that could kind of frighten me in a potential Super Bowl matchup. I know that's way ahead of us, but because the Chiefs haven't seen them very often.
That's my Super Bowl pick. So I want to go back to Super Bowl 1. This is the perfect year to do it. I don't think the Packers have enough. Let me put it this way. I think the Packers run a year ago was impressive. I just don't know if they have the right mix of leadership, veteran, coaching savvy to beat a team like the Lions or the Eagles in the postseason. They're going to have to face at least one of them, if not both, to get to the Super Bowl. Now, Jordan Love's kind of like a Bo Nix thing for me. You know, he's played a lot better than I thought. And that game he had against the Chiefs, a year ago kind of woke him up. And now he's turned into this terrific quarterback, got a nice big payday. He's their future, and he deserves to be their future. I still have some questions about the head coach and his ability to win games in the postseason. Kind of similar how I feel about Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. And as I predicted, they won't make the playoffs. I said it early on, so I'm good with that one. But I think the Packers are a good team. I think they'd be a great story. That'd be a great Super Bowl. Not many people are still around from Super Bowl 1. We lost the late Lenny Dawson a couple of years ago, and there's a few Chiefs. Bobby Bell, I think, is still around, but that would be a fun, nostalgic couple of weeks, heading into it. But I think the Lions, Eagles, Packers, I think one of those three for certain will be in the Super Bowl.
A couple more quick ones from me here. Your boy Bo Nix that you love, has he taken over the top spot as the Rookie of the Year?
Yes, there's no question. It should be unanimous at this point.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, obviously, it was Daniels early, but the Redskins, Commanders, have just kind of played bad football over the last 3 games. So it doesn't help them right now. His cause. Bo Nix and Sean Payton are probably as close to a rival relationship as Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are in the NFL right now. I think it's a perfect fit. He has done things that I didn't think he could do at the NFL level. Now, let's temper it just a little bit, because I got a lot of Broncos friends and a lot of people in the Broncos nation. Is he the quarterback of the future? Potentially, yes. Does that mean he's going to be the quarterback of the future? Again, this is his rookie year. He hasn't played a lot of really great teams, and the teams that were really good caused a lot of problems for him. And I think we're going to know more about him in year 2 when defenses have had a chance to take a look at him. Again, this is the same offense that the Saints are running. So there is a pattern there. And if they can adjust to Patrick Mahomes defensively, and a lot of NFL teams have, we're going to see what the real Bo Nix is. But for Rookie of the Year, absolutely 100%. He's got my vote.
I was going to say, you can get Bo Nix for Rookie of the Year right now at plus 125. Jaden Daniels still favored at minus 150 to win Rookie of the Year, but it's getting closer and closer to being a Bo Nix runaway.
Book it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Got it.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I have a question: Is Patrick Mahomes? Have you seen improvement? Because I feel like I've been seeing improvement. I know the offensive line is making it real tough on him, but have you seen the improvement over the last few weeks that I feel like I'm seeing?
Yeah, what I thought was particularly impressive with Patrick yesterday was, take away, that run late in the game. Is he maneuvered better inside the pocket? He stepped up, he moved around, he didn't panic. I mean, his tackles were woeful yesterday. I mean, my goodness. Wanya Morris, they signed DJ Humphries, who's in Kansas City this morning, taking his physical. You would think I'd have the attitude of, well, he's not going to take my job. Well, he's going to take his job, and it can't be soon enough, because Wanya Morris is just, he's really good at run blocking, but he just can't. He just doesn't use his leverage properly. And I think a lot of this falls on Andy Heck, the offensive line coach, who I don't want to see in Kansas City next year. I think he's hurting the offensive line more than he's helping. So I think that, that it's going to be he seems like he's understands and trusts everybody. Like the throw to Kareem Hunt on that last drive. You don't do that unless you're a confident quarterback. I mean, if the ball could be tipped, he's had that pass tipped on him 3 times this year and gotten interceptions out of it twice. So, anything could have gone wrong, but he had the confidence. So when he stays in the pocket and he has time to survey the field when he does have time, he was extremely effective yesterday. And even in the Bills loss, he was effective. He bailed out of the pocket too soon, but I liked the progression from that game to this game.
Okay, 60 seconds. Max brought this up early in the show, talking about CJ Stroud. How much of a downfall have we seen in this sophomore slump?
Wow, it happens, and this is what could happen to Bo Nix next year. Teams have plenty of tape. They've got plenty of film. They look at it and they say, okay, well, here's his deficiencies. What was so good about Stroud last year was he had this confidence. He does not have that confidence this year. And they're a better football team on both sides of the ball. And they spent a lot of money in free agency, and they made all the right moves. But, it's a sophomore slump, and it's evident. I mean, there's no way you lose to the Tennessee Titans at home. I mean, my goodness. I didn't watch much of that game yesterday, but I saw that score, and I'm like, what happened? So I had to go back and look at some of the clips. And he's just off right now, and he may not get it back this year. And they are in real danger of not making the playoffs, because 3 teams are going to make the playoffs in the AFC West. So that means, they're going to be fighting with a whole bunch of other teams if they don't start winning games, and their schedule's not easy. And that was the other thing. They had a cupcake schedule a year ago. They didn't have one this year.
Fantastic. Well, I would love to ask you more about Lance Leipold and KU and the rest.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk bowl game. I'm predicting it right now.
Oh, I think so.
It's going to when they win against Baylor, it's either going to be Kansas versus Nebraska. In my opinion, it should be Kansas versus Florida, because those are the two game wreckers. They're game wrecking this top 12 playoff format. I love it.
Great stuff from us. Our good friend Nick Athen from ChiefsBlitz.com. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it, my friend. We'll talk
Happy
soon.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Hey, you too, buddy. Thank you so much. Great stuff from Nick Athen. We'll take our final break, come back, wrap the show next with leftovers here on the Blitz.
The Red Tag Sales Event is going on at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas, and the savings are rolling in. Right now, drive home with 0% APR on select popular Chevy models, making it the perfect time to upgrade. Or take advantage of 1.9% APR for 60 months, plus over $3,700 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Imagine the possibilities in a new Chevy, from trucks to SUVs, all with these amazing savings. Stop by Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas, and find your perfect match, or online at hurlchev.com.
The Farmers State Bank of Oakley has been financing agriculture since the day we opened our doors. Hello, this is Corbin, and we are proud to be your locally owned partner in ag. We invite you to come and visit with us when you need to purchase new or used farm equipment, or need any type of agriculture or business loan. We have the knowledge, experience, and financial resources to keep you growing. The Farmers State Bank of Oakley, a tradition of community and agriculture for over 115 years. Member FDIC.
Bringing you the best regional sports talk.
Well, I'm awake and I speak English, so yeah, I do know what you're saying.
From scores to stories, the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
All right, a couple minutes left to go here in our program today. Thanks again to our good friend Nick Athen for joining us. Appreciate it. Always has good insights. Love that he's getting on the Bo Nix train. I think this is great. All for that. Let's see here. Onto the leftovers. What did we miss from this show here? JUCO basketball this past weekend. Colby Community College swept by Coffeyville. Lady Trojans held to just 2 points in the first quarter, and they lose 60-51 to the Red Ravens. Yes, sir.
I was PAing for that game.
Yeah, how was that?
Saturday. Yeah, it was a rough first quarter. They kind of got it together, but just overall, just kind of too sloppy from the Lady Trojans as far as just a lot of turnovers and it was they came back from after a really slow start, but it wasn't enough. Good Coffeyville team.
Trojan men, they lose as well, 56-50. Your thoughts on the lowest offensive output of the season from the Trojans?
I was not there for that. I only did
that one. You
only did the women's game. That's all they needed me for. So then I went home and watched KU play Colorado.
Get out of here. Get out of here. We don't need you. Fort Hays Tech Northwest, by the way, lost. They hosted Hutch. Women lose to the number 1 Lady Blue Dragons, 88-35. Not a shocker there. Tiger men push Hutch to overtime, lose 94-80. And I think Hutch hit a buzzer beater 3 to send the game into OT, end up winning at 94-89. 24 points off the bench from Chase Harris, though, was big. K-State men's basketball playing down in the Paradise Jam. They lost last night in their second round game, so they won the first round game, lost to Liberty by 2, 67-55 last night. They will play Longwood today at 4:30 Central. Catch that game on 100.3 The Ride. I know it's early. We're only 6 games in, but I'm telling you, K-State basketball just does not look the same. I think a lot of people were hoping for it to look like it did that first year in Jerome Tang, and I kind of feel like they caught lightning in a bottle a little bit. I just don't know if we're going to see that kind of run out of Kansas State for a while in the Tang era. I don't know. That's just my gut feeling on that. I don't want to be Mr.
Coach, though. He really is. He's
great guy. Love him. Great guy. Great coach. I don't have anything against him. And it's like I said, it's super early. They just cannot shoot the 3 ball good enough to beat these type of teams. And that's what you see a lot. A lot of these teams shoot the 3 ball well. But they got Longwood today at 4:30 Central Time. Of course, we talked about the Chiefs and that, I forgot to ask Nick about Noah Gray and 4 touchdown catches in the last 2 games. He's become kind of the favorite target for Patrick Mahomes as of late. And talk about the Broncos. They beat the Raiders yesterday, 29-19. Bo Nix, 273, 2 touchdowns. I think he's got 4 total touchdowns or 4 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, so 5 total touchdowns against the Raiders in his 2 games. Cortland Sutton, by the way, has certainly resurrected. He's really, with a good quarterback, he has shined. He had 97 yards, 2 scores. He's now 5 straight games of 70 yards or more.
Extremely underrated. Extremely underrated.
7-5. Denver is 7-5. By the way, if the season ended today, they'd be in the postseason. They'd be the last wild card team in.
Crazy.
Crazy for them. But yeah, do you believe Nick when he says he's not concerned about the Lions or the Eagles?
No. Well, you know what? Honestly, I get the Eagles part because the Lions is he's like, I don't believe it. The Lions are the best team in football. It's not close. I don't see that. The Eagles I get because I think I really, even if it may seem crazy after what happened last night, I still think that I'm taking the Chiefs' run defense, and I think they're going to force Jalen to throw the ball. So I give them that. But no, the Lions are insane.
Yeah, Lions are really, really good. Okay, on to the walk-off.
A 3-run walk-off home run. A game-winning walk-off
with a walk-off. His second walk-off hit of the season.
In walk-off fashion. That baby's go.
Trade this weekend in Royals baseball, sending a pitcher for a hitter. What do you got?
I like it. You know, Brady Singer, a couple years ago, we thought he was our future ace. Things happen. Things change. He still has a high upside. I love Brady. He was great. But, you know, things have to change, especially offensively. So you trade for your leadoff hitter, and that's exactly what the Royals got in Jonathan India, who former rookie of the year, had an offseason, and then kind of went back to that step up that the Reds fans thought last year. So I'm super excited. It's going to be interesting what they do with the second base position now, because you're probably going to have India in second base. I've heard some rumors of Michael Massey moving to left field, which is kind of interesting for the Royals, but India is going to jump into that leadoff slot, and I'm excited for that. And then Joey Weimer is the outfield bat that the Royals got. Was a top prospect for the Brewers. Can't hit the ball as well as people thought he would. Extremely talented outfielder. So we'll see how his bat develops, because he could be a very good addition to the outfield as well. So I like the trade. Sad that Brady's gone, but happy for the new guys.
Yeah, Jonathan India. I think they still need to go out and get some more offense here in the offseason. Still more work to be done. Today, by the way, it marks a yearly tradition here on the Morning Blitz, where Ross tells people you need to check out the Nebraska State Football Championships, and not because maybe the quality of play, but because of the quality of broadcast. You will not find a better state football broadcasted game, I swear, especially in the Midwest, than Nebraska. The NS, they do a fantastic job. You can download the app. It's the Nebraska Public Media app, and watch some really, really, really good football and a great telecast for high school. It's so great. So good. Another yearly reminder to check it out here today. For Nick, and for Max, I'm Ross. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Blitz.
Rocket 102.5 is KKC.